All right, so before I start the video, I just wanted to take the time to say thank you to everybody who's been subscribing to the channel and have been really supporting the content that I do. It really means a lot to me, and I'm just glad that you guys just show up and just watch the content, man. It's awesome seeing that everybody's just interested in what I have to say on various different types of games and stuff. It's always appreciated. So as a major thanks to you guys, I wanted to take the time to shout out some of my people that I've noticed on the channel lately. Sorry, and just say my thanks. First up, we have Callisto. Callisto, I've seen you in quite a bit in the videos and just chatting and just commenting with me, and I appreciate that a lot. Thank you very, very much. Always been encouraging me to keep doing this stuff, and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you very much. I said Orochimaru like this is Naruto, but no, Orochi Warrior. Thank you for watching, man. I see you in the chat or the comments a lot too, so very grateful about that. Shout out to the homie Bad Kaiser. I pretty much see you in almost all my latest videos, and you always take the time to comment. I appreciate that a lot, man. Really enjoy your content as well. Keep doing what you're doing. I respect it heavily, and thank you for just taking the time just to peek into my videos and stuff. It means a lot, man. I appreciate it. Cyrus Bright, I saw you also subbed to the channel not too long ago. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that heavily. I enjoy a lot of your Trails content. Excellent videos. You even started to get me into Trails a little bit more and start to appreciate the games more as well. So, I appreciate that heavily, bro. Just keep on doing what you're doing. It's great. And then KM, I saw you in the latest Persona video, and I appreciate you for taking the time to watch that and to engage with the content. That was pretty funny. But yeah, I figured I'd just give everybody just a quick little shout out before I start the video, because at the end of the day, it costs nothing just to give shout outs and to, give thanks to the people who are supporting you along the way. It costs absolutely nothing to do so. So I figured, why not just do it here, But yeah, with all that said, let's actually get straight into the video. What is up, guys? It is your boy Kazak here, and today we're here to talk about the Nintendo Switch Direct 2 announcements here. In case you guys did not know, I actually did a live stream with my brother Cali Q where we reacted to the Direct, and we had an absolutely amazing time doing it. We had a lot of fun. There was some funny moments in there too. So you haven't seen the actual stream, you can watch the replay. I highly recommend you guys go check it out. It was a great time overall. Plus, if you want to know my overall feelings on it, just go watch the stream. That's where I'm going to have a lot of my opinions on the actual Switch itself and the Direct in general. But for today's video, I just wanted to focus on some of the announcements and my own personal highlights that came from the Nintendo Direct. So yeah, I figured it'd be fun to do that and just talk about some games I'm kind of excited for the new Switch 2. So let's get into it. Right out the gate, the first thing that we got is a Street Fighter 6 port with all the DLC characters that are currently announced. And it looks really awesome, man. It looks like it includes all the content, all the stages, outfits, and all that stuff. I definitely gotta give Capcom props for choosing to put the game on here for the Switch 2. It looks incredible. I like it. And overall, I'm very happy about that, man. Very, very happy. Now I get to play against all my brothers and my friends and all that stuff on here while playing on the voice chat and everything. It's going to be pretty lit on there, man. It's going to be very, very lit. But that was not the only thing that Capcom put out. They also ported Kunitsugami on the Switch 2, which is very awesome, since I feel like this is also another Capcom game that should have been on the Nintendo Switch, but I guess that they were probably just waiting for this Direct to announce the fact that, hey, it's going to be on the Switch 2, which is great, because honestly, this was a pretty underrated game that didn't get the amount of love that it should have gotten. And hopefully, now that it's on here, people will pay more attention to it and give it the love that it truly deserves. It is a absolutely fun game, very underrated game by Capcom. And yeah, super glad to see that on here. Now, the other thing that got ported on the Switch 2 is, excuse me, the Yakuza 0 Director's Cut. Yes, finally we are getting another Yakuza game on the Nintendo Switch, and it is my personal favorite Yakuza game of all times, which is 0. So that is really freaking cool. Even is including some new additional cutscenes and extra stuff in there too, so that's pretty dope. I'm very, very happy about that. Being able to replay Yakuza Zero on the go just sounds like an absolute dream, and it's here. The dream is real. It is a reality. So that is pretty dope. I love this, especially since Kiwami was on there. It seems like that the success of that game did pretty. There was a lot of success on there, and they figured, you know what? Why not port the most goated Yakuza game onto our new console, which is the Switch 2. So that is awesome to see. If you haven't played Yakuza 0, this is the game right here. If you haven't played any Yakuza game, start with Yakuza 0. This is the absolute goated game of the entire franchise, easily without a doubt. You know, if you never played them, just know that this is a banger right here. It is a absolute freaking banger, and I'm so glad that it's on here because now I can take it with me on the go and play it on my couch and all that cool stuff. It's going to be very, very awesome. Now, a new game that was announced on the Switch 2 Direct that I actually was very curious about is Demon X Machina. Yeah, apparently there is a brand new Demon X Machina game where the first game was a kind of like a Armor Core kind of like mecha game where you gotta pick your mech, customize your mech, and you go out to missions and shoot around and stuff. This one looks like it's taking a more interesting approach where you kind of like get this cool robot suit slash mecha suit or whatever it is, and you just get to go out in the field, shoot a bunch of evil like monsters and all that other cool stuff. Now, I never really played too much of Demon X Machina. I always liked this game, but I never really got fully into it like that. So I think this looks pretty cool. I like the art style. It kind of reminds me of Xenoblade Chronicles X a little bit. It definitely has that vibe. So I'm down with that, and I like the way that it looks. It actually looks super fast paced and intense and all that stuff. And it seems like it's also going to be on other consoles too. Apparently, it's going to be on PS5 and all that. So I'm very curious about this one because this looks very fire. And yeah, I mean, more mech games, the better. So I'll take it. I definitely will take it. Very interested to see how this one turns out, though. Very interested. Up next, we have Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster that was announced for the Switch 2. Now, my experience with the Bravely Default games, I have played quite a bit of them. I played the first game quite a bit, which I really enjoyed. The first game was a very good time. So honestly, I'm pretty happy to see that Bravely Default finally got a remaster, but this time with some new stuff added onto it. And it looks great, man. I'm very excited to see how this goes. If you haven't played Bravely Default, kind of think of it as like more old school kind of fantasy type of gameplay. With the class changing system, it had a pretty decent story as well. Pretty likable characters and all that stuff. So if you have not played Bravely Default before, this is the best time to jump into it and play it because, yeah, they remastered it and it looks great. I'm very excited for this one too. So, yeah, I wonder if they're going to eventually do the second game, which was called Bravely Second. I wonder if they're going to do like an HD remaster of that at some point because that's the one that I have the most memories with. Even though, in my opinion, that's probably like the most mid game out of the current trilogy because there is like Bravely Default 2, which I think is way better than Second. But, I wouldn't mind seeing Bravely Second come back and be remastered. I think that would be kind of interesting to see on here. Then, what else we got? Oh, yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Final Fantasy VII Remake is on here, and it looks absolutely amazing. And, to be honest, I kind of expected them to do this anyway since, I always felt like they wanted to put this on Switch, but, the current Switch was just not capable of handling it. So they was just like, okay, well, we might as well just wait for Nintendo to announce the next system and we'll just put it on the next system. And Lord and behold, they did. And it looks pretty cool. So, and I think this is the integrate version. So yeah, this contains like the Yuffie episode and all that too. So that's pretty dope. I never got a chance to play integrate like that. I only played the OG version. So if I do get my hands on Switch 2, this will be a fun little game to have on the system, especially with all the new content that was included within it. Let's see here. Next up, we have a brand new Hyrule Warriors game called Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, which is a prequel game that takes place before Tears of Kingdom. So that's pretty neat. Honestly, I was kind of hoping for like a little bit different, maybe like a Xenoblade Warriors or like a Xenoblade Warriors game or something like that. I was kind of hoping that we would get that instead, since like I wasn't too crazy about Age of Calamity. I thought Age of Calamity was a game. It was okay-ish at best. I wasn't super crazy about it, but it looks like this game is going to probably improve upon the gameplay formula, and looks like it's going to do some various different things with some new characters and stuff like that. So hopefully, maybe if I see more gameplay footage of it and I see like the gameplay that it's like more fleshed out, a lot more faster and all that. I said a lot more faster. I'm so dumb. A lot faster and all that. Then I'm pretty much down to pick this up and play it whenever I do get a Switch 2 at some point. Then we also have the new Rune Factory game, which is called Guardians of Azuma. I have been kind of keeping my eye on this game for a little bit since, I'm not really the biggest Rune Factory fan, but I do kind of like some of the games that I have played them here and there. And this one looks kind of neat, especially with the very cool looking Japanese fantasy aesthetic and look, especially like mixing with a little bit of that Harvest Moon element to it as well, which is another reason why I am very much interested in some of the newer Rune Factory games. And this one looks pretty darn good, and probably would definitely benefit from the better frame rates and all that stuff, because I know that Rune Factory 5 wasn't the best on the Switch. So hopefully now that this game is on the Switch too, we're probably going to get way better performance on that one. So that should not be a problem at all. So outside of that, I think that would be like my own made personal highlights. And although speaking of Harvest Moon though, we do have the new Story of Seasons game that's also going to be coming out on the Switch too. So that's going to be fire as well. So 2 Harvest Moon-like games, even though Story of Seasons is actually Harvest Moon. Like there's a whole story about that, which I'm not going to get into. But yeah, very solid picks overall. I feel like the Nintendo Direct was pretty fun. I enjoyed it for what it was. There's definitely a lot of remasters and ports here that I'm very excited to get my hands on if I choose to get a Nintendo Switch 2, which, to be honest with you guys right now, I don't know if I plan on getting it anytime soon, just because, there's a lot of stuff going on in terms of games and all that. And, and overall, I'm just not too sold on the Switch 2 yet. If you want my quick opinion on that, I think it is solid, and I like what I've seen from it in terms of the actual hardware itself. It is dope. I love the fact that you could basically have a Nintendo Discord on while you're playing the games with friends and stuff. I think that's pretty fire. It like in terms of this overall presentation and what Nintendo showed us for like what the Switch 2 could actually do, I came out of it very, very impressed, and I enjoyed it quite a lot. Game wise, I do think it was a little bit on the weaker side. It felt kind of like they were throwing us a lot of softballs here and there, especially with the third party stuff. A lot of it was just remasters of games that we already have or already knew was going to be coming on other platforms and stuff. So overall, like I gave if I had to rank it, the Direct overall would probably be like a solid B tier, or maybe 7 out of 10, perhaps. Yeah, you know what? We'll go with 7 out of 10. Overall, 7 out of 10 Direct. I thought it was cool. I liked a lot of the things that they showed. And overall, I'm just excited for the overall scope of the Switch 2 and just the potential of what it could do in the future. And I'm very, very interested to see that. So yeah, I figured I'd give you guys my quick thoughts on that, on the Switch 2 Direct, and give you guys some of my own personal highlights and briefly talk about them real quick. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me know what you guys think about the Direct. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys like it? Did you hate it? Or do you think it was okay? Let me know in the comment sections below, and make sure you like and subscribe, okay? So yeah, this is your boy Kazak, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.